Hey guys, it's Albertium back with another guide for Elden Ring Nightreign, and it's going to be how to be the best Ironeye you can possibly be. So basically, Ironeye is Legolas of Nightreign, and that is quite literally the meaning of it with his movesets and skills. Obviously, he will be a ranged offensive support, but if you find melee weapons that fit his very high dexterity scaling, he is more than capable of using those as well. You will, however, have to put in some serious skill to dodging to keep him alive then, so he really is best used as intended, DPS from afar. Now, one thing we can all agree on is, well, there is no ammo, and this is great in this game, that you can just keep firing the arrows and you are not spending any ammo. Now, there are different types, however. Your damage delivery from the bow will be coming from you firmly planted with your feet on the ground, as jumping and shooting isn't exactly that big of a viable option here in Nightreign. But the sheer speed at which you shoot and of the character really does offset that, because you are able to move around the terrain quickly and effortlessly. He does have a high arcane scaling at B, so that might be something helpful if you find a weapon with blood loss or something else, but they are pretty rare, honestly. I said he is a DPS support class, and what I mean by this is he is phenomenal at keeping a constant pressure from afar, but that also comes in amazingly handy when it comes to allies being revived. Skills, and we're going to be starting with a passive skill called the Eagle Eye that benefits not just Ironeye but your whole party. The slain enemies are just more likely to drop items, and this is absolutely huge help because more often than not they drop nothing. Now the next skill is Marking, and this applies increased damage received on the target, and it is about 10% more, which is pretty good. It is, however, a melee skill, so you need to be careful when deploying it for two reasons. One, you can actually miss, and two, it takes you from the safety of your usual distance close to bosses, so it is best done when aggro is on anyone else. You can, however, use this to get out of a pinch or some big attack you don't usually have enough confidence to deal with. You can actually use this as your second dodge option. So, when the enemy has the marked icon, attacking that specific part will actually build up stagger faster. You can also use the animation for repositioning, like I said, but there are no iframes during deployment. Single Shot is his ultimate skill. Now this is one massive arrow with AoE that pierces everything: enemies, terrain, structures. Now, depending on how well you line this up, you can actually deal a lot of damage and also stagger, knocking enemies on the ground, because there will be quite a few bosses with minions as well, or simply clearing up entire camps once you aggro everything in them. The radius is pretty damn huge, and it will also interrupt bosses in whatever they are doing. This also works as revive support for your team, because this will bring back up all downed allies you fire it upon, no matter how many purple bars they have. So sometimes maybe you can even take advantage of lining up your shot with the downed ally and it also catching the boss. It all depends on how well you line up your shots. Weapons, passives, and relics. Now, when it comes to weapons, obviously you should stick to bows, even though he can handle fast melee weapons like claws, because it just robs your team of so much support. Otherwise, you can find these in chests and boss drops, but mainly check bow racks in enemy camps. And if you can find bows with status effects, that will be completely turning the tides. As most other weapons in the game, you can apply grease to bows as well. Now, when it comes to passives and relics, single most important stat for Ironeye is stamina. Since you don't have ammo in this game, as long as you have stamina, you will be able to fire. So prioritize anything that impacts your stamina, even over increased damage, because by leveling up and finding better bows in the game and having more stamina, you will actually overshoot any damage buff by sheer DPS alone. And there you have it, guys. Legolas of Nightreign. I absolutely love playing this class. It is amazing. Let me know in the comments, are you enjoying this game? And well, I will be seeing you in the next one. Bye bye.